In this chapter, I want to provide to you a firm foundation of exactly what globalization is and how globalization is impacting our business environment. Up until this point, your focus has been primarily of a domestic nature, and this course challenges you to evaluate and consider variables that simply do not exist in our domestic economy. Now, in this course, I want you to keep something in mind. The United States is a foreign country. Foreign country does not mean non-U.S. in this course. It only means a country. It means that a foreign country is a country that is not of one's original origin. Okay, it is a host country. Canon is a Japanese company. It has a plant in Newport News. From Canon's point of view, the United States is a foreign country. It is the same thing with Steel in Virginia Beach. Steel is a German company that has a business investment in the market of the United States. The United States is the foreign country. And as Americans, we tend to be myopic when we think of international trade. We are certainly a foreign market as well in some context. Now, when we think about globalization, we think about an increasing level of integration among countries in an ever-expanding free trade environment that allows for the free flow of capital and the identification of market advantages in other countries. And these advantages might include cheaper labor, an increasing supply of raw materials, lowering the cost of materials, and even more favorable government regulation for our industries. Although we may not completely support this idea of globalization, it is a business reality. It is also a consumer reality. Americans are always looking for lower prices and greater opportunity to acquire material things. So until that trend changes, globalization will be a great driver in our getting what we want. Now, globalization is not just one thing, it is many things. Globalization can include greater integration of world markets, but it can also include a more worldview-oriented approach to politics. It can mean that the economic downturn in one market can be felt in many other markets. It can provide for greater opportunity to access crucial services and critical services, like what has occurred in the medical industry via medical tourism. It can mean that we get to experience foreign cultures right here on our own doorstep through foreign language television, bilingual customer service agents, and through our own personal relationships with people migrating to this country. Now, many people have a concern about globalization. Globalization can be a threat to precious ancient cultures and to job security in some industries. It can mean that our own market may become less productive as more and more production-oriented jobs are exported to other countries. We are left with a high technology, information-driven, value-added type of society that earns its money by sharing what it knows, not necessarily what it can do or build. And these side effects can have far-reaching consequences to us individually and professionally. In considering integration of markets, we are talking about the melting together of national marketplaces into one huge global market. And you may find that people in Venezuela now want the same type of products that we do here in America. You may find that people in Indonesia seek the same luxury items that we seek for ourselves. We do not want to accept this as being entirely a good thing because there's a great value in diversity. Ultimately, we do not want our markets to be all the same. In many countries where native cultures are being influenced by materialistically oriented Western markets, the governments are now regulating what television stations can be viewed, what clothes can be sold, what technology is readily available, and under what circumstances students can study in foreign countries. And while it might be nice to be able to buy the latest edition of Microsoft Windows, regardless of which country you were in at the time, it is also nice to experience the exciting differences between the Brazilian market, the Japanese market, and the Peruvian market. When we speak of globalization of production, we are speaking of the extent to which goods and services are acquired internationally. Now, many companies that manufacture a product take a careful look at the price of their component parts and will naturally gravitate to the low-cost producer. In this particular chart that was compiled by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, it is a comparison of what the hourly compensation rates are in the different countries. From Norway, let's look at 2011 at $64.15 an hour, all the way down to the Philippines at $2.01 an hour. Now, where is China and India? Well, here's the comment from the BLS regarding China and India, that there's so many data gaps and methodology differences between China, India, and how we compile our own data. There's not a direct comparison between the labor costs in China, India, and the United States. Now, now that information is still available. You just have to go for another. You have to go to another section in the Bureau of Labor Statistics in order to gather that information. Now, ultimately, the manufacturer is looking to lower overall cost and cost of goods sold. And in the beginning, globalization of production was founded upon the sourcing of inputs. Then it moved to outsourcing. And outsourcing required that processes be moved overseas so that the functions could be fulfilled by foreign suppliers. And the outsourcing of these processes moved many indirect jobs overseas, while the acquisition of parts from foreign sources moved many of the direct jobs overseas.